well, both my injuries were North America, so I was in the American League and NHL. Um, and you know what, being in hockey, you see injuries all the time. You see guys breaking bones, broken jaws, everything. And the first thing the league does, well, back then was they give you, oxys, like the strongest pill to take care of that pain. And I saw a bunch of guys that were getting hooked on them, and I was like, you know what, I can't do this. Like, what else can I do? And I was taking, I think it was hydrocodone for the first couple of weeks of my knee injury, and I was like, you know what, this is making me feel really, really different. I didn't like it, so I'm not sure if I should be saying this right now, but I got a prescription from a doctor back then to do medicinal marijuana, and that really, really helped me. And it wasn't addicting like the pills like I saw my buddies on, and um, started doing that. And sure enough, I think it was like the second week of since I got that prescription. I get to the rink the one morning in Buffalo, and there's a drug testing uh, post on my stall. So I'm like, oh shit, here we go. So I tell the NHLPA guy, okay, you're probably gonna call me back here in a couple of days. I mean, I had just taken some edibles that morning. I knew I was gonna test positive. Um, sure enough, I get a call a couple of days later from the NHLPA, and they want to meet with me in Niagara across the border. So I go meet with the guy, and he's like, "You okay?" I'm like, "Yeah, I'm fine. I'm doing great." He's like, "So why don't you want to take the oxys?" Like, well, I told him the reason why, and uh, film prescription. He's like, "Oh, good for you. Like, I'm glad you're taking care of it and worried about your health." And um, this is back before when weed wasn't legal. So I was terrified. But he's like, just so you know, like, you're the highest we've ever seen NHL history. I'm like, oh shit, like, what's gonna happen here? But he's like, no, no, you're all good. Like, don't worry about it. We're really happy with the route you're taking. And they were great about it. They were awesome. And they said, okay, well, when you're done, what we're going to do is we're going to put you on a program where we test you every 2 weeks and see if you get off it. And sure enough, I had no problem getting off it. So um, I think with injuries, guys have to take care of themselves. I mean, in hockey and with the if you go to a doctor these days, all they do is push pills. Like, that's not the secret answer to everything. I mean, there's different ways to take care of yourself, and don't be afraid to stick up for yourself and say, hey, I don't feel right with this because it's making me feel a certain way. And if you got to find something else, make it work.
I'm
And
hearing a commonality here between what we talked about with the scamdemic and then also with the injury road. Do you feel a lot of guys are afraid to stand up for themselves and just say, this is not in my best interest, I'm going to question this? But a lot of guys aren't allowed to question it. Do you feel that's true?
I just think they're afraid to ruffle some feathers and make their GMs and their coaches upset by making a certain choice. So everyone's kind of keeping their mouth shut and just doing what they're told. Um, I don't want to drop names here, but I was in touch with a lot of guys during that time that were still playing, and they did not want to do it. None of them wanted to do it. But they end up taking two because they had to, right? So it's just, it's unfortunate. I hope it never happens again. It was wrong. It was not the way we should treat people in the world, I think.
You feel the NHL treats guys like assets, meat on a hook. You're useful as long as you're useful, and then once you're not, who are you again? What do you want? Okay, bye.
Maybe a little bit. I mean, they still treat us well. I mean, if I were to call into Buffalo or Minnesota today and be like, hey guys, I'm coming in for a game. I want to bring a few of my guys with me to come down to the room. They'll take care of you right away. They're great like that. But I think the government forced these guys' hands to make an example out of them and be like, hey, these guys are all taking the vaccine. It's cool to do it. Like, you can do it. You'll be okay, right? And you know, these sports leagues, I think they make an example of those guys because a lot of kids look up to them, and they knew they'd get to us that way, I guess.
Well, to me, it was very Roman Colosseum as far as, are you not entertained? I mean, when we were going through the pandemic, it was make sure they have sports so they have something to watch. And so these were players that were kind of forced into a situation that maybe some of them didn't want to do it. You know what I mean? Like, maybe they didn't want to go play and take the vaccine, but it's like, no. If you're going to be part of the program, get out there and play.
You have to. I mean, what are you going to do? Say no and then not make any money? I mean,
what was Bertuzzi? Todd Bertuzzi? No, Tyler Bertuzzi. Him and Rogers are the only two that I can think of that said, no, I'm not doing that. I'll do what I want.
yeah. I know a lot of guys that didn't take it, that said they did, that had the fake passports. I'm not going to name names, but there's a lot of guys that did that way. not sure they didn't caught obviously, but that was such a weird time, guys. Like it was just like people were trying to find a way around it, and it was just a very uncomfortable situation for everybody, unless you were, if you bought into the CBC or the mainstream media. I mean, I just felt it right away. I knew the propaganda. Like it just hit you in the face. You're like, hey, well, they're pushing fries and a burger to get your vaccine. Like, come on, how are we not waking up here? Like, there's a big issue.
They did a lottery here in Manitoba. They get lottery for like to win $10,000. It's funny. You're more familiar with this because you're closer to it. But the license plate in Quebec, it says "Je me souviens," which means I'll never forget. And it's funny because once the pandemic was done, everything was just supposed to be forgotten. It's like, oh well, here we go back to normal. It's like, no. Do you not know what I went through for the past 2 years being unvaccinated?
Oh yeah, it's crazy, man. Like even like I don't want to put my family on the bus, but my family treated me different too. A lot of people, friends, treat me differently. Like I couldn't go to weddings, I couldn't go to family gatherings anymore. It was just like, what's going on here? Like I'm totally healthy. And then it started getting funny when the people that got vaccinated in my family or friends were getting COVID. They're like, there's no apologies, nothing. It wasn't like, we were wrong in the way we treated you. It was just like, oh, whatever, right? And it was really gross. And I still have friends that are vaccinated. I'm not saying that, but I have better friends for having the same stance on this stuff. I feel like our connection was so much deeper and meaningful to me after COVID. I got some friends that I would die for right now. I love these guys to death, and
I think Matt's saying that he's better friends with me than he is with you, Trevor. Hey, more hockey content. It's might be old, it might be new, it might be a full episode, it might be a half episode, but you can click these boxes because who doesn't like clicking boxes?